Hello, everybody. How's it going? I hope everyone's having a good evening. Um, if you don't know me, my name is Melissa, and this is my channel about my cross stitching. It is day 12 of a video day, August, and tonight I'm going to do about an hour of Stitch with me, and as I kind of unwind and get ready for bed. So tonight I am working on excuse me, the Fruit of Plenty, and this is by Modern Folk Embroidery. My goal tonight is to continue working on. I've got a flower here that I'm working on, and then there is a mirror one over here to finally finish up this motif. So that's what I'm going to be doing this evening. Kind of light stitching, nothing too deep. If I get done with that, then I'll probably do a little bit of brown outlining to connect this up over here because I want to get this ribbon area outlined. If you are not familiar with this piece, let me pull out the full picture. This is what this piece looks like when it's done. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a glare. There we go. So this is what the piece looks like when it's done. And I am working this motif right up here. And then, as I mentioned, if I get my two blue flowers done, I'm going to continue working some of the outline. So I have this ribbon section outlined to be able to work that a little bit later. So that is what I am doing this evening. All right, well, I'm going to get started and get my pattern out here. So hopefully everybody has been having a good week so far. Mine has been quite good. My son came with me to work today, which was kind of nice. We realized he wanted to get up to Boston before school started, and then I realized that with different schedules and stuff, it might help if I had my glasses on for stitching, because I'm like, why can't I see? Well, if I get my readers on, I should be able to see. So he wanted to come up to the city with me, and at first I was like, oh yeah, you could come next Wednesday, and then realized, wait, no, he can't come Wednesday because my company is having its summer outing, and it's definitely a 21 plus sort of a deal. I was like, well, that won't work. And next Thursday, I need to work from home anyway because we're going to have our house cleaned in preparation for photos and whatnot to get our house listed. So that is what's going on. So yeah, Max came with me to the city today, which was really, really nice. And when I got home, I was just a little wiped out. So I normally do a journal gathering with Journal Party, which is another channel here on YouTube. They do a live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. But I was just kind of wiped out from the commute and just needed to sit and veg. So that's what I did. And if you hear crumpling, it's because my cat Toby has decided that he's going to be in the box behind me. And he wants to hang out with Mom. So that's coming out pretty focused, I think. But yeah, so been a pretty good week so far. Busy, but that's how it is. And tomorrow I commute, and then Friday I work from home. And then this weekend is going to be a lot of busy tidying the house in preparation for the mover or for the cleaners, because they'll do specific things, but we need to make sure like all of the boxes and whatnot that we have floating around are picked up before they get stuff out to the garage or get things into the basement and get it out of the way. So that's that. But I'm looking forward to also doing some stitching this weekend. I'll get together with the girls that stitch in Westerly, Rhode Island, and for a couple of hours, and then be back home to get stuff done. And maybe we'll even go tour a couple of houses this week. We shall see. So if anyone else is here, what you working on this evening, if anything, or what you reading? I have about 3 chapters left in my Back Bay Blues by Peter Colt. It's been an enjoyable listen so far. It's definitely, I'm not as familiar with the private detective genre, so it's definitely coming across with, I think, more of a meant for male readers type of phrasing in there. But I think that might just be the genre. My husband was like, well, if it's a private investigator, you got to have dames. I'm like, oh, okay, so we go that route. Gotcha. So the language gets what I think I would classify as a little bit crude and definitely a bit sexist, but I think it's written intentionally that way. And it also definitely fits the 1980s, so. I don't know. But I think once I'm done with it, I'm going to probably switch genres for a little bit. I got to find something else to read or listen to that's a little more relaxing, I think. So it seems to be a little blurry. Let me put that down. Let's see if I can adjust my. I just feel like my video setting is. Oh, not at the max I can have it at. Okay, well, that's how it's going to have to be, I guess. Where'd my needle go? All right. Actually, let me try something here. If I stop sharing and I activate my camera, no, it's not going to do it. Okay, well, that's fine. There we go. All right, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, that's our week. Is continuing to get stuff done. I kind of wish this past weekend I'd had like one more night at the hotel, and my husband was like, "You should have told me. I would have sent you money." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I kind of hadn't planned on it, and I wasn't sure what the deal was, and it was your birthday weekend, so, but that's okay. I could always disappear later for another one, right?" And I just did miss my kitties, I have to admit. Oop, get them nuts. Yes, Toby. I don't know if you guys can hear him trilling. Hi, baby. Oh, you have your box. Are you comfy? He gets upset when I go to Boston all day. Ooh, I'm getting naughties. Hey, Liz, how are you? I'm just doing a little bit of live chill out stitching tonight. Excuse me. And apparently my allergies are starting to kick up. 'Tis the time of year. But how are you, my dear? Are you stitching this evening, or is it a little too late for you? This is kind of, honestly, my normal time to get a little bit done, because everybody else is upstairs and in bed, and so I get a little bit done before bed. I just got back from stitching at your friend's house. Nice. What were you working on this evening? I don't know why I've been going slowly on this, but these blue flowers have just been taking me way longer than I thought they would, but that's okay. I'll get there. Also helps if I count. I failed to count to 2. Night Rider. Nice. Yeah, tonight I'll be working on this, and then tomorrow night I have a 2-hour stitch along with the Tudor Rose Guild online, and I'll be working on Mute But Not Silent tomorrow night. So. Always good to feel like you're making progress, right? I feel like this one is just kind of, I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting into a rhythm with it again, but that's okay. I mean, I know I'll get there. I just hadn't worked on it for a while, so I think once I get past this motif, I'll kind of get that burst of energy to go, oh yeah, okay, there we go. We're making progress today. All right, I'm gonna run this across. Oh, cool. I haven't done any of their stitch alongs. I know the shop, but I haven't done any of theirs. That's one of those things, of course, that's now tabled until further notice for me to join, like stitch alongs and that kind of stuff. Oh, that's a fun knot. There we go. That'll be, once we move, I can look into that kind of stuff again. Okay, that's not as bad then. Yeah, the Tudor Rose stitch along. Last year we did a themed piece. We did Mary Foch running with needles and scissors. And then this year we're like, oh, we could do a band sampler. We're thinking different things. And then we finally just decided on how about we just have folks come with a previous Tudor Rose piece that they just haven't finished. And I was like, that works perfectly for me. Thank you very much. So, and I conveniently have 2 of them in my project bag. So, not that I'm going to get mute but not silent done anytime soon because it's quite a complex piece, but at least I've got, a couple of different things. But we've had such a good turnout that the summer stitch along is now going to become a ongoing every other week stitch along, which is kind of cool. So. And I need to remember, let's see, I think Black Needles Downton Abbey has already opened or is about to open for subscription. So I got to go and do that. And then I saw an email went out today about the autumn stitch through Lindy Stitches, the Harvest Moon Hangout, I think it's called. I gotta check on that one. That one is like the last or second to last weekend of September. And it works out well because my husband is going to be away that weekend. So I actually can hang out and do that thing. I don't think I'll do any classes though. The house selling is going well. We've finished filling the second pod. And we have the deep cleaners scheduled to come in next Thursday. So this weekend is going to be moving any, leftover boxes and that kind of stuff down to the basement or out to the garage to get them off the floor and whatnot so they can clean. And then after that, I think we're going to be ready to get the photographs done and get this thing on the market. So, because we're really down as far as packing goes to like the stuff that we use pretty much every day, other than, like I've got to go through my closet, but that's something that I can pound out pretty quickly. And worst comes to worst, I've just got all of those bags that, you use to like move into dorms these days, and I can just throw everything in bags and call it a day. But yeah, we've got the whole basement's cleaned out. Our living room is done other than the furniture. The dining room's done other than the furniture. And the boys, while I was away this past weekend for a little bit of chill time, went and did like our entire pantry, which we didn't keep food out there because it wasn't heated, but I would keep like my extra baking dishes and that kind of stuff. So the boys packed all that stuff up since we figure, we can, it's still in the house in case we're not moved by Thanksgiving, but realistically, the stuff that was out there, I'm probably not going to be using until Thanksgiving. So no showings for us yet. No, because we're not listed yet. So the house won't be empty. We will be living here when it's being shown, which is going to be kind of interesting because we do have the cats and we got to figure out what we're doing there. But Yeah, no, the house won't be completely empty because we have to do the sale contingent where the proceeds from this sale become the down payment for the next house. So it's going to be a whole to do. But the good thing is that since our house is going to be a contractor flip, it's very unlikely someone's going to be moving right into here. So, but yeah, our goal was to have things packed up enough that, you know, if the house goes on under contract, we can get everything else wrapped up really, really easily, either by ourselves or worst comes to worst, we, hire a service to come in and pack everything for us. If I finally just have hit I can't even phase, which I honestly am kind of close to getting to, but I figure, hey, it's better than I thought I would be as far as the situation after being here for 20 years. But yeah, we have too much stuff. I guess the good thing is that since, our mortgage is about to explode past where we currently pay, having the stuff in the house, I will at least have stuff to be entertained. We'll put it that way. 2, 3, 7, 3, 4. Now, are your kids still going to school, Liz, or are they all done? I can't remember. Because I know a lot of kids are starting to go back, like to college and stuff. Max starts 2 weeks from yesterday. He'll start school. And we didn't want him to have to switch schools, partway through the year, but it is what it is. So, but at least we'll get him switched before he's in high school, and hopefully he'll have some time to make school friends at his new school, so he won't feel completely out of whack going into high school. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I couldn't remember if any of your girls were like the same age as Amy's daughters or not. But boy, you got to be glad to be done with all of that, huh? Nice. Yeah, Max is already like, oh, when I'm old enough to get a job, I'm like, you will go get a job and I will be happy. Like, have fun, kid. I will not complain about him working. Oh, okay. That's what, okay. So, like, the same age as Amy's oldest. Gotcha. I knew there was something close there. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. It feels weird not having a Stitcher's Hideaway retreat to go to this fall, but Stitch New England is kind of taken over that for me now, I guess. I'm like, I feel like I should be going to either Sturbridge or Mystic. I'm seriously considering like booking a weekend and just going down to Mystic for the hell of it. I don't know if I'll stay at the Comfort Inn, but I may go do a personal stitchy weekend down there. Yeah, I know things were kind of changing those last few years, so. And it was getting really expensive. I didn't even attend the last 2 alumni retreats. Well, I was there on property for one of them. But it was kind of made known that I really wasn't welcome to come in the room since I wasn't paying. So I pretty much avoided it and stayed over in the other building. But yeah, I heard the one in New Jersey was really, really good. Someday I want to check that one out. That's the one that just happened, right? Or are you talking about the one that goes like, there's one I know that's Super Bowl. There was one Super Bowl weekend, I think, now in New Jersey. And then there's the one that just happened like a week ago or something. I don't know what the deal was, but and then afterwards I got the whole, oh, why didn't we see you? I'm like, because you made it really, really clear I wasn't welcome. And of course, then there was backtracking and all that. So, but it is what it is. It's possible maybe I overreacted a little bit on that, but it did. The way it was handled kind of just took me back a little bit. So it was like, oh, okay. It's like it wasn't like I was planning on crashing, but okay. Well, hopefully some year maybe you can get up to the Stitch New England one, because that one's become quite a bit of fun. It's big, but it's a laid back retreat. Yeah, I think Amy I know she was meant to go to the one in New Jersey last month, but I know also that her family was having an issue. So I don't know whether she made it or not. She may have had to cancel. I'm not sure. But she's mentioned that Super Bowl one and how much fun it is. So maybe one of these years. Oh, that would be fun. I've never been to Long Island. I've had plenty of people that I know either as friends or like acquaintances, both between college and stitching and everything, and I have never once set foot on Long Island. I haven't even been to New York City enough. Yay, one flower's done. Thank goodness. All right. I'm not going to play thread chicken with that. I'm going to get a fresh piece of thread. It's DMC. It's not like I have to be all that protective of it, for crying out loud. I love how I'll do like the floss chicken thing. It's like, oh, I've got to conserve all this. I'm like, it's DMC floss. Why am I worked up about this? It's not like I'm stitching with Floriana, for crying out loud. I'm already like having dreams of what I'm going to do in our new house for like a little stitchy nook. I'm hoping that we find somewhere that has a nice little corner where I can just put like a really cozy day bed or something to sit and stitch on. I don't need a lot of space, just something just for me. We saw a house online today that we're intrigued to see. The layout of it looks really, really cool. There's a couple of things we just need to investigate a little bit more to see whether whether we would be good with it. Because if I remember right, I think it does have well water. But we would want to see whether there is a possibility of hooking up to town water, and then and how much that would cost. And then also it's on septic, but that's kind of common for that area of Massachusetts. So, I mean, even like, I know Amy's on septic, so. Oh, they're crazy high here too. we're kind of we're buying a house kind of with that in mind, that we're fully expecting that Max will probably have to move back in with us after he finishes any education. So we're like, people are like, "Are you sure you want to have a house that's big?" I'm like, "We may be doing some multi-generational living, so yes." Um, like, as long as it has the option that we can eventually have a bedroom on the main floor of the house in case, uh, our physical health deems that we shouldn't be doing all the stairs. Yeah. Did I screw something up there? Oh, we'll see. Oh, wait. Nope. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, just for perspective, the house that we're selling, if it gets the max amount that we're hoping to sell it for, the will be only like half of what a house up in Mass is going to be. So, and yeah, that's one thing. We're like looking at places that have some sort of a capability for an in-law in the basement, even if it doesn't have like a full kitchen, but at least has like, a bedroom, living room, and its own bathroom kind of a thing. So we're definitely keeping that in mind. And we have found a couple of places that look really, really, really nice. They are unfortunately at the top of our budget, but you know what? If that's what it's meant to be, we'll figure it out. If it's move-in ready, then hey. And who knows, maybe we'll get more for our house than we're expecting. We do need to have our real estate agent come back in and just kind of refresh the comps, because she did them back in, I want to say, either late April or early May. And the market definitely in Mass is definitely starting to change. I don't know if it's affected us here in Rhode Island yet. And I know having your kids move out of state would be rough. But at the same time, I promise you that if they do, it also could be a good thing for them. So I'm, of course, speaking as someone who moved, 2,000 miles away from my parents. So, and then my mom followed me. So, skip 2. And eventually, my mom has thought about possibly moving closer to us, at least to do like the snowbird thing where she'd do Florida in the winter and then like up here in the summer. Because She likes Florida, but at the same time, she doesn't like kind of being stuck inside all summer because it's so hot. And my mom really does love to be outside, and she likes to walk. She likes to do gardening. You know, I mean, granted, she's slowing down a little bit on the gardening, but she likes to do a little bit of gardening and going out with the dog and everything. And, you know, that's just kind of hard for her to do in Florida. So, yeah, and the change of seasons. She loves the change of seasons. I know that one of the things she was looking forward to going down to Florida was not having to deal with winter. But I think when you don't see any of it, I think you realize how you kind of do miss it a little bit just for, you know, that whole change of life kind of a thing in the year. Especially, I think, if you're someone like we are that grew up where there were four seasons, you know, and she grew up in Pennsylvania, so she was used to seeing them. I don't know if I could live anywhere that doesn't at least get a little bit of snow in the wintertime. Granted, I can do without Montana snow and the Montana cold, but I need a little bit of snow. At least like a little bit towards the holidays to get me in the mood, which of course it rarely does here, but it still feels like winter. Now that I've found a rhythm here, this is going a lot better. I might actually get this thing done tonight. That would be wonderful. Even though I said it was only going to be an hour, I may just push and stay on until I get this done. We'll see. We'll see how quickly my brain goes, nope, you're done, and crashes me out tonight because I have, of course, been up since 6:30. And I do have to drive to Boston again tomorrow. Or no, tomorrow I'm going to take the train because there's a Patriots game at Gillette tomorrow evening, and I don't want to get in that traffic. All right. Have a good night, Liz. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you next time. Yeah, this is going a lot better this time. And how do I want? I'll do this backwards so that I can jump right into that other section of the flower. I just keep getting little knots tonight. It's kind of this floss. I was having problems with that over the weekend too. I just kind of kept getting little wrappy knots. You twist you. Hopefully you can't hear him, but Toby is, oops, did I make a mistake there? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Toby is in his box next to my computer and he's snoring away. So if you hear little weird sighs and grunts, that's probably Toby sleeping. He's happy I'm home. And it's what he does. Okay, so that's that. It doesn't look right. Because it's not right. Alright, so you're coming out. Rip it, rip it, rip it. Rip it, rip it, rip it. Oh, see, I was right without doing that. Okay. Counting. Counting is an amazing thing. Especially counting to 2. So, let's see, just to go over stuff for the next couple of days. Tomorrow I will be doing a video. And actually, let me check and see what topic I thought I was going to talk about tomorrow. Because I actually drafted some of this stuff up. Excuse me. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about, it's going to be kind of a book chat. So I'm going to be doing, the title of it is Media While I Stitch. And the kind of stuff that either I listen to or watch or that kind of thing. So, and then on Friday, I'm going to do a Apocalypse question and answer because I post Apocalypse questions every month for the check-in, and a lot of times I don't wind up doing the answers for myself. So I'm going to do some answers to Apocalypse questions. And then on Saturday, my plan is that it's going to be a WIP weekend, so I'm going to talk about my goals for the weekend. I'll probably do a little more question and answer stuff from Apocalypse that day. And then on Sunday will be my normal live stream sprints. And then we'll repeat everything again next week. So that's the rough plan. And I'm making this up as I'm going along here. Okay. I was trying to stitch this off of the mirror, but that is not going to happen. So let me get this pattern out so I can see the darn thing. Okay. Let me close that window so I can see if anyone else is coming in. Sometimes your life just wants to make things a little difficult for you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to puttering a little bit more this weekend. I have, the tidying to do, but once that's settled, I should be pretty good to just unwind and enjoy some stitching. I have quite a few floss tube videos to catch up on too from other people. Alright, this is going a lot faster than that other side. Yay! I might actually be able to get this darn thing done. Hey Alicia, how you doing? Ooh, nice. I know Cruel King is in my to be read stack. I have it in a box ready to be unpacked once we get to our new house. So I'll look forward to hearing what you think about that one. I ran into that one at the store and went, oh, well, I have to see if this interests me because Kent is my maiden last name. So it was like, ooh. I am obviously not listening to a book while I'm stitching here tonight, but tomorrow I'll be wrapping up Back Bay Blues by Peter Colt, which is kind of a private investigator novel happening in 1980s Boston. I'm really loving the world building. I think probably because it's familiar to me, and just because I moved to Boston in the early 90s, so a lot of the things he describes are super familiar to me, and some of it I'm like, oh, that doesn't exist anymore. But because it's private investigator stuff, it definitely has that intention because it has to, because it's private investigator stuff in the 1980s. It's a little male gazy, we could say. There's a lot of like guys wanting to get with girls kind of stuff, which is like not really my thing, but fits the novel. So, oh, that's cool. Oh, I'll have fun with that then, because I do like those cat and mouse type things. Oh, so you guys are you're back in school. I've got 2 more weeks until the insanity starts here. Although I'm starting to get my son back on his sleep schedule because he has been deciding that since he's been on summer break, he doesn't have to go to sleep at his normal time. And we've kind of let him get away with that, but the rule has been that he still has to be in his bedroom. at his normal hour, and he has to be quiet. So he's going up, but he's just staying up until all hours of the night. But I'm like, you know what? You're 13 and you can start making some choices and learn when, how it feels if you are sleep deprived. But we're definitely going to start wrangling him back onto schedule because uh, his school first bell is at, like, I want to say it's a 7:45. So he's got to get up. Yeah, we're starting early for us this year. It's like a week and a half early. There's been some years he started after Labor Day. There's some years he started like a couple of days before Labor Day, but this is the earliest he's ever started. But granted, this isn't going to affect him as much since we won't be in the school district the whole school year. But they're still getting out at like the middle to almost middle end of June. I don't get it. So I don't know if they added some extra days in somewhere, or I mean, I know that they do have 2 days. There are 2 days extra that they have off this year because since his school is a location where they do primary and statewide elections, the rule is here that if they're using the schools, that they close the school for the day. So I know he's got those 2 days off, but because our primaries aren't until September. So, um, but yeah, he only really technically he wasn't out of school this past year until the 18th of June, and they're already going back to 25th of August. So it feels like he had a really short summer. But no matter where we wind up in Mass, they pretty much get out in June as well, just give or take, the days around it a little bit. So I'm not quite sure why we're starting so early, but whatever. Works for me. I'm definitely starting to feel sleepy. The eyes are like, no, you need to go to bed. And my brain is like, no, you really, really need to finish this flower because you've been putzing on it and it's taking you way too long. I feel like I've been completely out of touch with everyone on BookTube lately, too. It's just been like, we've been so busy with packing and stuff, I don't even know what way is up lately. I'm really looking forward to being able to reconnect with everybody again. I'm definitely going to try to push to get this flower done, though, because I really want to move on and get that other thing accomplished on this that I wanted to do. Right? Yeah, it's like my son's in bed, my husband's gone to bed, our friend Matt, who lives with us, he went to bed hours ago. He was upstairs in his room before I even got home because he's up at god awful o'clock in the morning. So he's probably been asleep since like 8:30. Yeah, this is like the one time of the day that the house is quiet. I have it all to myself, and I can kind of just do my thing. Oh, nice. Congrats. Yeah, I saw them on when you were streaming. It looked really, really good. I love that color you have them. I obviously haven't committed to anything as far as the bookshelves that we're going to have in the new house since I don't know what the layout is yet. But yeah, I cannot wait to get our library together and like get the shelves up, do a little bit of decorating and that kind of stuff, and organize all the books. And oh my God, we've got a ton of books. Eric and I keep joking. It's like we keep looking in places and there's more books. But I guess we have our supposed retirement already set to go with all of these books. We'll be able to enjoy things for many, many, many years. And, you know, there are far worse things that we could have than not enough books. It really, I'm sure they look even better in person. They look so good on screen. And once you get all those books up on them, it's going to look amazing. Now, my bookshelves that I have here are mid-century modern. They're maple ones. They're those Ethan Allen custom room plan ones, and they're solid. So in an ideal world, I'm going to be scouting out to find more of those sets to build out our library, but we'll just have to see. I've seen plenty of them on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, so it's just a matter of getting them for a reasonable price, because since they are solid wood, you know, some people are asking pretty outlandish costs for things. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm a little worried about too, is that we're going to have to weed out some books. And also, we came across at some point, my husband was buying old books. I think just to kind of give our bookshelves a little more, you know, atmosphere and whatnot. And he was getting a little concerned that maybe we need to put them in some sort of a shelf that has like, you know, glass doors. And I'm like, well, why not? If we want to get some protective glass doors for some of the older stuff, just to make sure that it's, you know, a little more protected, we can. And of course, stuff can go in other rooms too. And there could be like the reading library and then some books that are just on shelves, built-ins and whatnot, that just look pretty, that we're not necessarily going to read because they're probably too fragile, you know, but there's something about old book bindings that just are really, really pretty. I laughed because last weekend I came across, there was a box in the basement. I'm like, what the heck is in this? It just had books written on it, you know, nondescript. It was like, what's in here? And I open up the box, and it is, as I'm sure there's some missing in there, but it's like almost a full set of the Star Trek Next Generation paperbacks from like the 80s and 90s in number order, um, along with some random choose your own adventure books from my youth kind of stuffed in there. And I know I have more of those. So yeah, we're going to have a very interesting, eclectic library once we get everything up. I'm just sad because I look at all our paperbacks and I'm like, and they're all the old mass paperback cut size. And I'm like, oh, I'm sad that books aren't going to be in that size anymore. I like that size. And of course they've stopped making that size. But that's okay. We'll probably have to have like the paperback, the old paperback bookshelf, and then the more modern paperback bookshelf, because nothing's going to match. I saw 3 of them, but I didn't find the original of my paperbacks of Robert Jordan's Eye of the World series too. I saw books 2, 3, and 4 of mine that I know I bought when they first came out. Um, I didn't see book 1, but it's probably floating in a box somewhere down there. I may give that series another go. I haven't read it in a long time. I lost track of it for a while, so I never completely finished it. I think I got to like book 7. And at that point, I was kind of knee deep in trying to get my life going after college and whatnot, and just fell off of them. So, and you kind of have to be in the right mindset to read those since they're tomes. All right, this is getting promising. I might actually be able to finish this. Gonna have to get new floss though, because I'm starting to get close to playing floss chicken. Yeah, right? That's, yeah. I foresee, like, as we're trying to get books organized, there's going to be a whole lot of like stacks everywhere on tables and stuff, as because I'm sure some of the series have gotten divided between boxes, or even here in the house they probably got divided between rooms. So they're totally in different spots right now. So I cannot wait to get stuff back together where it belongs, and to give my collection of books at least a little bit of cohesion. Pretend like I'm organized. It'll be the great illusion of it. I am going to stay and finish this last. Oop. All right, now we're definitely playing fried chicken. But I need to rethread it so that I can finish this thread off. Yeah, it'll be like, oh yeah, I am a super organized person with my books. As you buy like 2 copies of the same edition of the same book because you forgot you bought it already. I don't know whether I want to be so like organized that I keep things on a Notion spreadsheet or something. I probably should, but we'll see. But that again will be for the next house. Oh, there you go. I'll be making mine as I'm sitting on the train in the morning, I think, because I am. Originally, I was going to drive to work tomorrow, and then on my way home tonight, as I was coming down 95, I saw there was a sign that there's football tomorrow at Gillette Stadium, and I'm like, oh, nope, I don't want to be getting into that traffic for the first preseason game. We will do a hard pass on that one. So I will take the train because then I will be able to avoid all of it. Okay, good. I'm not the only one who has duplicates. Thank God. I mean, it's one thing like if you get like editions, Like I know my husband, we have a couple of copies of a couple of books that like he got a version of it signed by the author. So that one's kind of a collector, but then he bought another copy of it, usually like a paperback, that is the read copy. So that the one that got signed stays in really good shape, and that kind of stuff is fine. But yeah, there's times that I've like literally bought the same book. It's like, oops. At that point, it'll probably be okay, we're gonna go find a little free library somewhere and donate it to somebody's stash. And at some point, I do want to make another trip to Niantic, Connecticut, and go to the Book Barn, which is heavenly for used books. But again, really shouldn't do that until we get our library set up. And at that point, it probably will just be what series do I have that I know are incomplete, and make a list and see if we can go to the used bookstore and find them. So. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Eric's got Eric did that, I think, with Game of Thrones. I know at least his first two are the original hardbacks. Yeah, I was trying to collect a series of it was a cozy mystery series, and we were down at the Book Barn, and they have fantastic deals on books, and a lot of like the paperbacks. Oftentimes, you can get them for $1, and so I was just grabbing them, and I wasn't even paying attention. And on the same day, I accidentally grabbed 3 copies of the exact same book. It was like I got home and I'm like, oh, these are not different titles. I just grabbed 3 of the same book. That's good. So thankfully, it's a series I like, and yeah, the other copies went into little free libraries at the park. So hopefully somebody else came across them and had a nice cozy read. All right. Last flower. It should not have taken me this long to do this flower, but whatever. Yeah, no, if you're ever in that area in Connecticut, I highly recommend it. It is an old barn. Um, the original is a barn, and then they put like a whole ton of sheds on the property. And every shed has a name and a theme to it. And then they just have them, divided by genre, and then by authors, so you can find them easily. Um, and it's gotten so big that they have the main location, and then they have 2 off-site locations in Niantic. One of them does like all of the romance books, because romance tends to take over everything. There's so many romance titles. So that's like over in one location with like art books and that kind of stuff. And then they did a downtown location that has a lot of really like the trade paperback fiction. So, that's where the sci-fi is. That's where like the Stephen King is. Um, the kids' books are down there, that kind of stuff. So, and with the exception of maybe some books that are like harder to find titles and hardbacks, almost everything that I've ever bought there has been $4 or under, including hardbacks. So And it is in the general area, like you can go, if you've got like family members who are really into anything Navy and that kind of stuff, you can go. New London's not far away, and the Submarine Museum is there. And then you go just a little bit further, and you're in Mystic, and you can do the whole Mystic Pizza and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a nice area of Connecticut, honestly. The shoreline there is really, really pretty. I can't remember. I don't think you can get to Niantic. Maybe you can. I'm trying to remember if there's an Amtrak station there. There is in Mystic. I can't remember if there's one in Niantic. There might not be. I'm sure there's the Connecticut local rail, though, is probably there. Alrighty. So do this and hop up 4 stitches. The nice thing with this is that these flower motifs, I'm thinking they're probably supposed to be carnations, maybe? The nice thing is that each one of these stalks is actually identical. So once I got the rhythm of it, it goes a lot faster. They're just flip-flopped. So that's helped this go a lot faster. I just had a heck of a time getting this started over here. Yeah, if you're not in one of the big areas that has them, it's kind of a rare thing. Ooh, my child is coming down. Hi, kiddo. Hi. How are you? Good. Good. What's up? Ah, you can say hello. I'm still on camera, but you won't. No one will see you. And he's running away. Nothing. You should go to bed, kid. Yeah, I know you're trying to hug the kitty. That's your excuse all the time. I know you can hear me. Yeah, I've been a little less. I used to take the train every day to work, the commuter train to Boston. COVID kind of disrupted that schedule for me since I started being able to work from home at least half the week. And it didn't make sense at that point for me, to get like a monthly pass for the train. And then I just decided, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to drive. And I think I've gotten into a bit too much of a habit with that, so I really should start taking the train again. Especially now that gas prices are getting where they are. Because it's really not too bad of it. I mean, from here even, it's really not that bad of a train ride. I think it's about, let's see, an hour 15 from Providence to Boston, so it's not horrible. Yeah. I'll go to bed. I've only got like another 15 stitches, or well, a little over 15. I'm going to get this flower done, and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm determined. It really did. I don't have to, my train that I'm catching tomorrow isn't until 10 after 8, so I'll be okay. And really, if I'm like putzing too much, I can always just drive in tomorrow and maybe just take a different way home to avoid Gillette. There are other routes to get around. Alaska to Florida? Oh my goodness. That's a heck of a... I kind of wanted to take the train down to Florida to go see my mom. I don't know if that or I could there's a train that goes from Boston out to Chicago. And I think that takes like a full 24 hours. The downside is that none of the trains that come all the way up here to Boston, none of them have the sleeper cars anymore. They used to, but they don't anymore. You can only get them once you get to New York. But I thought about doing that sometime because I do like being on the train. I find it relaxing. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a heck of a move. I thought my move from Montana to Boston was a big one, but that beats that. All right, last pedal is started. Make sure my count is right as I get to this stitch. I should be 2 stitches above it. Yes, I am. Thank goodness. Okay. So I'm actually counting. Oh, that would be fun too. Yeah, I asked, my son came with me to Boston today, and I asked him if he wanted to take the train. He was like, no, I want to drive. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, COVID definitely did a number on a lot of things, including, wanting to take the train and being around people. And I definitely seem to have a lower tolerance to crowds than I used to. Yeah, okay. And I think they still have that auto train. I know they have it for at least part of the trip to Florida, but I can't remember where you pick it up. It's not in New York. It might be like down somewhere in Virginia. But they definitely have one on the East Coast line. The one good thing we have up here, and it goes down to Washington, D.C., is we have the Acela train, which is the rapid train. It doesn't get to its full high speed for a lot of the trip in New England because it winds the coast, so it has to go slower just because of the nature of the tracks. But there is a point for a little bit in Rhode Island that it does get up, I think, to 158. So it moves. Oh yeah, I haven't been to a theme park in years. We were supposed to go to Disney World in 2020. We're supposed to go in April of that year. And we never made it back there. Some point we'll probably still go. Oh yeah, the Acela is awesome. It's like the stretch between Boston and New York. It saves like, I want to say 30 minutes just because of the nature of the track going through Connecticut. But it's my understanding that once you get south of New York and you're going down towards Washington, D.C., it halves the time. And it's a really comfortable train. It's really popular, though, for people who are like doing business meetings and stuff in New York. So anytime I've taken it, it's like I get on it, and half the time I feel like I'm totally underdressed because, like half of the people are wearing suits. And here I'm getting on, and I'm like in t-shirt and jeans, like, hi. Oh, I'm making up the stitch. Oh, wait, I see what I did. Okay, I'm fine. I do not have to pick this out. Yes, my eyes are getting tired, and so is my brain, because I'm failing to count to 2. All right, let's bring you down here. Do, 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 do. And then we'll hop back over here. All right, and yay, the last set of stitches. I'll bring this row all the way down. It's just going to feel good to have this done, and then I can move on. Cat, what are you doing over there? Okay. 5 more half stitches, and I will be done with these flowers, finally. All right, and there we go. So now I have my flowers completely done. Yay! And basically the center of that motif is now done. So, oh, that feels good. So yeah, tomorrow night I'm going to work on getting the line in here to connect up and finish off this little border, so that then I can start working all this detail blue. So, yay, I'm done. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me, Alicia. I appreciate it. And I will see you on your next streams sometime in the next few days. And I hope that you get your reading done tonight. But yes, since it is now midnight, I should probably go crash. Oh. So I will talk to you later, and I will be back live on Sunday. And yeah, until then, I'll be doing some videos. So have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.